All right, everybody, welcome to a special edition One Nation Sports Locker Magazine Extra on Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Glad you guys are enjoying me. Hope you had a great weekend. I just got done. Jay's going to be upset about this, but I just got done having some really good pork steak that my father in law grilled up. So I want to give a shout out to him. Thanks, and my mother in law for putting all the rest of the meal together. It was really good. So anyway, we're gonna jump right into everything. As speaking of Jay, I called him today, and he is up. He was up in the mountains when I called, and he did not even know how that phone call got through to him. And I said, you know what? I got connections, GPS locator. I found you in the mountains, and I wanted to let you know. Go ahead and take the day off. I will keep laboring, but you enjoy the day off with your family. So anyway, he got to do that, and so we're going to just have some fun tonight. We're going to look at some clips from some of the guests that we have had on the program before, and I want to just share with you tonight. We're going to see a clip from OZZIE Smith and also Tristan Porter of California High School. We've got Coach Weston Keleher of Helias Crusader Wrestling, and we've got Kiara Strayhorn of Capital City High School. Manager of the Year, the man, Elijay Mayfield, and then former NFL great Neil Smith, and one of the funniest impersonations that you'll see of former Cubs announcer Cary. So I hope you guys stay tuned for all of that. I don't want you to be concerned about me not having Jay here. I do miss him, but we're going to make it through everything. He brings lots of energy. He's going to be here next week. Next week, we've got Laura Bax. She's going to join us again. She's going to talk about all of her outdoor adventures that she's had this summer, as well as she's going to share with us a little bit about some of the articles that she writes in Sports Locker Magazine. So I'm looking forward to that one. All right, guys, in this first segment, we're going to go ahead and we're going to see OZZIE Smith along with 4th Ward City Councilman Derek Spicer as we talk a little bit about OZZIE. And of course, Jay's going to have some cool intros in some of these. So the first clip is of OZZIE Smith, and then the second one will be of California Pinto basketball with Tristan Porter, her mom Melanie, Rick Edwards, and then Coach Sangster, Bobby Sangster will be on. So I hope you guys enjoy these, and I'll see you in just a little bit.
Whoa, mama, we've got a wizard show tonight. And no, I'm not talking about Gandalf the Great. I'm not talking about Dumbledore. I'm not even talking about the Wizard of Oz. Well, kind of like the Wizard of Oz, except he's real. Except he's the real deal. OZZIE Smith. He's a first time ballot Hall of Fame shortstop, professional baseball player. He played with the San Diego Padres from 1978 to 1981. But boy, howdy, it was that trade where he went to the St. Louis Cardinals, began playing for them in 1982. Woo! And he did that all the way to 1996. Smith set major league records for the time. He had 8,375 career assists and 1,590 double plays by a shortstop. He also set the National League record with 2,511 career games at that position. Boy, I'd like to see some baseball players and football players break that record. He also won the NL Gold Glove Award for play at shortstop 13 consecutive seasons, and that one hasn't been touched yet. Smith was a 15-time All-Star who accumulated 2,460 hits, 580 stolen bases, and he won the Silver Slugger Award for best hitting shortstop in 1987. So when they say this guy's known as the Wizard, it's because some people think that's the only possible way to explain how amazing he was. When you watched him play defense at the shortstop position, it was nothing short of magical. And the fact that he followed that up on offense, well, that's why he's the Wizard.
Yeah.
So let's bring out our magical guest, OZZIE Smith, Derek Spicer, and our co-host, Josh Crawford.
Here we go. There you go.
Yeah. So, OZZIE, speaking about your Hall of Fame baseball career, from your perspective, what highlights and accomplishments make you the most proud?
Um, I think that when I came into the game in 1978, my goal was to win myself a gold glove at some point in time and to win a silver slugger award. And I was able to accomplish those two things and ultimately get a chance to experience pro play, which I did 3 times, We went to the World Series in 1982 and were fortunate enough to win it all. We went back again in 1985 against Kansas City and lost in seven. And then we were fortunate enough to go back again in 1987 and lost in seven to Minnesota. So, as far as highlights go, I think it was the home run that I hit in 1985 that finally it made people start looking at me as much more than just a defensive player. I think it was that point. It was at that point that they realized that I was much more rounded. I was much more than just a defensive player, and I think it was at that point that my team started doing a lot more for me offensively.
Athletics. We've got the activities director tonight, Rick Edwards, and I just got done looking at his handsome face, so I'm excited to bring him on. We got the head girls basketball coach, Bobby Sangster, and I was doing some reading on him today. And did you know that he's on like year 13 or 14, and he has not had he hasn't had a losing season yet.
I know.
Blew my mind.
And he's got a great haircut. I love it.
Dude, it's as if he looked at you and said, I want to be just like Mr. Clean.
Well,
you know
I don't know about that.
One of the key reasons that his success the last 4 years has been because of one California girl. Her name is Tristan Porter. And Tristan has played a key role on this girls' team. She averages over 15 points a game this past season. She was rewarded with an all-state selection. She's received 4 MVP awards at California. She's been all-district and all-conference. Fun fact for you, on December 17th this past year, she signed with Columbia College where she committed, and she's going to continue her career playing basketball, and she's going to be playing collegiate sports. I'm like, holy moly, that's awesome. And then 2 days, if you thought that was fun, 2 days later on December 19th, she scored her 1,000th point. Now, I mean, I don't know if I've done anything 1,000 times except eat fries. You know what I'm saying? She scored 1,000 points. That is a huge deal. So welcome to the 1,000-point club. That's awesome. She was also featured in our last issue of Sports Locker magazine. And in that issue, she has a quote. And it's one of my favorite quotes. She says, honestly, all I do is show pigs and play basketball. And I was like, that's awesome. So tonight she's going to talk to some pigs like me, and we're going to talk about basketball. So I don't know if you're ready or not, but I'm ready to dive in. We're going to talk sports and swine, and let's bring on the California Pintos.
All right, that's awesome. What an intro, sports and swine. Hey, you don't get any better than that, right? Very good. Hey, this is what this whole interview is all about. This next question right here, Coach Sangster, Rick, I know you've been waiting for this one too. Jay, go ahead.
Boy, I know I got people hook, line, and sinker with my introduction when I was talking about the pigs, the swine and sports, baby. This is one of my last questions, so I'm very happy to ask it. Tristan, we can't leave today without talking about the pigs. Please tell me all about the swine. And in the interview, you even said showing the swine, the pigs, has helped you become better at basketball. Oh, please talk to me. Talk to me. I need this.
Okay, so I'm sure my brother is just dying for me to answer this question because he's like the head of like the pigs now. Because he kind of took over my dad's job because my dad just doesn't have time to do it anymore. So Trey took over it. It's just been something my family's done since I was little. I think my dad's dad was one of the started showing pigs maybe. And then ever since then we've won the state fair. I don't know how many times. I know Trey won it in 2014. But as far as helping me on the basketball court, it's just like basketball, like you can't just show up to the rink and expect to win. Like it takes all the behind the scene work, like bathing your pigs, cleaning their pens, feeding them, walking them daily, getting them tamed because some of them just like to run wild. I don't know. I'm the type of person that hates to lose more than I love winning. So just the hard work that it takes for basketball and the showing pigs, like I don't know. It's just I don't know. They're kind of the same because it takes a lot of hard work to raise a good pig and to keep it a good pig. And I don't know. But it's definitely helped me a lot in the basketball court. And it's kind of where I got my competitive drive from just because everyone on the show pig there's like a show pig circuit like and everything. Like everyone, it's so much money. So like everyone wants to win. So everyone's just competitive with it.
All right, there you have it. Tristan Porter was talking to us a little bit about showing pigs and how that transitioned on the court. We loved that question and that answer. So her mom, Melanie, chimed in here real quick saying that Tristan has her first basketball conditioning tonight at Columbia College at 7 p.m. So she's in the middle of that right now. I'm sure the coach wouldn't let her come out and rewatch this program, but anyway, she'll get to see it later on. Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and do a quick break. We're going to do our first sponsor, CNS Business Services, and we'll get right back at it on this Labor Day special. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, I'm Nicole Wilson, payroll specialist at CNS Business Services. One of the many benefits that CNS offers to our employees is our in-house payroll. CNS employees get paid weekly, and we are here to answer any questions and assist with any payroll functions for our employees. We have a dedicated email specifically for the employees where they can get assistance anytime, or you can call the office as well. Unlike other places that they don't have the in-house payroll like we do, they might have a corporate office in another city. CNS is here to take care of our employees and their personal needs on the spot. If you want to know more about employment through CNS Business Services, apply anytime or come into our office at 1731 South Ridge Drive. Thanks.
CNS Business Services. Say yes to CNS. Say yes to CNS.
All right, we absolutely love CNS Business Services, and we really appreciate them being a sponsor of the program. We've been doing this almost for a year. We're getting closer and closer to that year. I think we are on our 45th episode. So, we've done 45 weeks of this, and we just appreciate you guys joining us. That first segment was fun, but we're going to go ahead and move on into the second segment. And in this one, before we get into it, though, I want to just encourage you guys, if you have not seen some of these interviews and you want to see the interviews in their entirety, you can go on over to our YouTube channel, and that is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra, and all of the interviews are on that channel. Feel free to watch them at your leisure. Make sure you subscribe, and then if you can, just share that. Share this particular video as well as liking it. We just appreciate any support that you can do with that. We love having you on here. We love to see your interactions. So anytime you guys have questions or want to make a comment, please feel free to do that, and we'll try to make sure we get that answered or get that comment on screen. All right. In this next segment, we have some clips from Helias Wrestling, with Coach Weston Keleher, and then we've got with him on there Jack and John Loggy, as well as Carson Hayes. Now you're going to notice something about those guys that's kind of opposite of me. We'll get right into that here shortly. Also, we're going to have Capital City Track with Kiara, Cary, Chloe, and Michael Strayhorn. And the manager of the year, the man, Elijay Mayfield, with his dad Todd, and then the interim Lincoln University president, John Mosley. So let's get right into this next segment. I'm excited to move on, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Well, very good. One thing I've noticed, and I think everybody else probably notices, the difference in hair between you got young guys and then myself. So something that's quite obvious there, right?
Yeah. See, mine is a lot better than his. I didn't have time to grow up the mullet.
Yeah, no. Coach Keleher, as a coach, you've had to battle through some different adversities through your time that you've had there at the helm. Dealing with some different things as far as the proud tradition, trying to get back to that. Also dealing with the pandemic, and then some pretty difficult things as far as, and I'm just thinking, for instance, team captain Nikolai Cariega and the loss of his brother. Just kind of tell us a little bit about how you handled that and tried to help move the team forward and comfort them in that.
By far the hardest one, I think all of us will agree, was the loss of Jackson. Having all the things I've had to deal with. The way I got through it, and I think the way the boys got through it was two the same, was staying together as a family, doing, just keeping, especially early, It was all about staying routine, staying, on that schedule, and staying busy, because if your mind think too much, you were getting caught up in what was going on, and so you just had to stay busy. You know, seeing, I think the biggest leader in that group was Nikolai, because Nikolai didn't skip a beat, and these boys can tell you that. Like, I mean, he buried his brother one day, he was back in the room the next day, he was working his butt off, he was being a team leader, he was being a captain. Everybody was struggling, but kind of fed off of him. Even I did at times, because it was like, this is tough, and I see this poor boy just still doing it, still going, still. I mean, he motivated me to be better at that time too, and he's a great kid. Jackson was a great kid. It was a bad deal. That we talk about pandemics, but that's the real problem right now is epidemic is that teenage suicide. And but anyways, I just try to keep that family structure. That's the only answer I got on how to get those times is lean on one another. I tell the boys all the time, don't lean on the wall, lean on your brother. And so that's kind of how that's how we attacked that situation.
Longest jump by a freshman in the state of Missouri. Wowzer. If that's not enough to keep you pumped up and excited, she made second all-district team this past season in volleyball, where she received award for most kills and most digs. That sounds intimidating to me. Most kills, like what does she run around stabbing people? I start thinking Call of Duty, but no, it's volleyball. I guarantee you. She's impressive. In 2018, she received the Joel Farrell Award at the 2018 AAU Junior Olympics for outstanding performance in the field events. Just so you know, that award's only given to one boy and one girl. If you have not read her article from the March-April issue, well, then I'm here to tell you you need to get on the bandwagon. You are missing out. Read about this young lady and all of the amazing awards she's had. And Dad, before she just jumps away, I think we should bring her on. I'm afraid she's just going to start jumping away.
I think you're right. Let's go ahead and do that. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, Jay, why don't you go ahead and start with your first question?
Yeah. So Kiara, before I jump in, watching those videos, oh my goodness, you were just flying through those hurdles. Now, all I saw was obstacles, barriers, things that I would run into and trip and fall, and you're just like, bloop, bloop, like just hopping over. Like, I didn't even think you jumped. Like, it was just part of your stride. I'm like, how is that possible? So anyways, I mean, awesome job. Again, I watched a ton of your videos today, and I had a great time watching. So I kind of want to talk to you. You're a junior right now. You're going into your senior year, and that's going to be the first senior class at the Capital City Cavaliers. How excited for that are you?
I am very excited for that because since it is a new school, it is not like very often that people get to be the first class of their school, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the class that sets new traditions for the school.
Spirit will shine so bright that he just can't help but bring you joy, happiness. He exudes it. Elijay works at the state capitol, and he's had the privilege of knowing many of the governors and senators years. He's also Sports Magazine's official manager of the year, and his article was in the March-April issue, so be sure to check that out. If you look at him curled up right there, he's also been on a sports team, whether it was football, baseball, for a skater. He actually earned 7 sport letters, and he managed all teams for Helias High School, where he graduated in 2014. I could go in about all of the awesome achievements of Mayfield, but I'd rather just bring him on the show and get it going. So, Dad, let's get Coach Mosley of Mayfield and his dad, Todd Mayfield, on the show. Let's go.
All right. How about that for an intro, guys?
Wow. That's so cool.
Greatest.
Thank you, Grandma. God love you.
All right. Hey, it doesn't get any better than that. All right, Jay, to the next.
Elijah, man. So after all that your dad said, you've met some really cool people. Like, I want to hear about your relationship with Governor Parson, with Lieutenant Governor Kehoe, and then anyone else on Florida, Elijah.
Well, for me, since I met Governor Parson, super good guy. Me and him close relationship. He's the right man for the job. It's super cool. Me and the Governor Parson. He means a lot to me, and he's a pretty cool guy. For Mike Kehoe, my dad's boss. He's a very awesome guy. I actually know Mike Kehoe since I was only 5 years old. That's how I met Mike. Super good guy with my family. He had a farm, and so he asked me to work down there this December at his farm. It's so cool. Two people for our state of Missouri, and I know that do a lot of great things.
All right, those are some great clips. I absolutely love Elijah Mayfield and his energy and just all the things that young man does. So, again, that was a great section with Kiara Strayhorn and also Coach Keleher talking about the Carriegas, Jackson Carriega, and that unfortunate circumstance there. So we're going to have one more session here, but before we do that, of course, we have to have a little ice cream break. And so I'm going to bring on our other sponsor, Diesel Power Plus, but they also have the Dairy Barn right there in California, Missouri, right off of Highway 50 and 87. So here's the Dairy Barn. That was our sponsor, the Dairy Barn in California, Missouri, off of Highway 87 and 50. Delton and Ashley Rissler, they do a great job out there. The ice cream, of course, is wonderful. As you can see, I was making sure that it was okay for everybody, and it was. So feel free to go out and try some. They've been busy all summer long. They go to all these truck and tractor pulls, and I mean just all over Missouri and all over the country. So I don't know how they do it, but I appreciate them being a sponsor for us and allowing us to bring you this kind of programming. We are continuing on tonight with our Labor Day special. We've got some different clips that we're showing you from past interviews, and again, you can see these interviews in their entirety on our YouTube page, One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. Subscribe and enjoy those again at your leisure. All right, in this last segment, we've got some good stuff for you. My friend, Scott Marion, we're going to see him do one of the funniest and best impersonations of the, I don't even know how to describe him, but legendary Cubs announcer, Cary. You'll be, I don't know, if this doesn't make you smile, I don't know what will. And then we'll finish out, of course, with legendary football player from the NFL who played for the Chiefs, Neil Smith. So enjoy these next interviews, and I will see you guys right back here at the end.
goes without saying that Cardinal baseball to me was Jack Buck doing the play-by-play and Mike Shannon doing whatever it is Shannon does. But Buck was in the Cardinal booth for over 50 years. He's in the Baseball, Football, and Radio Hall of Fame. And as a Cardinal, you listen to him so much on the radio that you almost felt like you knew him. And I think this has been said a lot, but a really good baseball announcer paints a picture for the listener. And my favorite Jack saying was whenever the Cardinals would get the last out of a victory, he would just say, "And that's a winner." So that always made me smile. And of course, Mike Shannon, he's funny, he's famous, he's known for saying weird things. I've got a list of some of the crazy things he's been known to say. One time he said a guy was fatter than a chicken being chased by Ronald McDonald. Another time he said the right-hander is throwing up in the bullpen. I think he meant he's throwing up in the bullpen, but he's throwing up in the bullpen. Another time he said a hit up the middle right now would be like a nice sandwich and a cold frosty beer. And he would always say old Abner Doubleday's done it again, which that's who he credited instead of Alexander Cartwright.
Okay.
And I wasn't old enough to hear Harry Carey do Cardinal games, but of course I heard his shenanigans when they did the Cubs games. But I stole this from another comedian, but one time Harry would say stuff like, there's a high pop up to the short. Dave Concepcion's under. Oh, he drops it in the sun. You know, Steve, here's a guy that grew up in a cow, Sunshine 365, and he loses the ball in the sun. I just don't get it. Hey, look at the kid in the sombrero.
How do you follow up on that, anybody?
That's great. Yeah. How does
Yeah.
anybody follow that?
Oh, that's the program. That's the show, folks.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a winner right there.
Nick Thomas says that's great, Scott. So there you go. That's awesome.
Derek, being the natural promoter that he is, and honestly just a genuine nice guy, he was able to reach out to a good buddy of his and see if he'd want to join us this week for Super Bowl 55 week. And we are honored, electrified, beyond super excited that he got us Neil Smith, legendary defensive end Neil Smith. Now, I know here in mid-Missouri, you guys know that name. He is a 6-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He's a member of the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame. And hopefully soon he'll be a member of the National Football League Hall of Fame. He was also picked on the 1990s. Let's see. He was one of the 1990s. What am I looking for? All-decade team. I couldn't think of the word. All-decade team.
That's
and
awesome.
So only 4 defensive ends got picked to be on the all-decade team, and Neil Smith was one of them. So I just want you to wrap your head around that. This guy, he's put up amazing career numbers. He played 13 seasons in the NFL, 9 with the Chiefs, 3 with the Broncos, and 1 with the Chargers. All right there in the AFC West. So that's super exciting. And we're super, super pumped up to get him on the show with us. So, Dad, how excited are you? Are you ready for this?
I'm excited. It's looking like you're about ready to explode over there, but hey.
Oh, hey, I'm always full of energy. It gets my mind going. So you know me. I love having fun.
All right, you're good. You ready to bring him on?
Let's bring him on.
All right, here we go. Very good. Well, you did it, and you did it well. You went back talking about softball, and we shared before you came on the program that, I remember playing against you. I was at shortstop, and I saw you standing, when I was at bat, you were standing over on first base, and I about dropped. I was like, what is he doing out here?
All right.
You thought I was gonna strike out. You just thought I was just a guy feeling or whatever. I know I kind of shocked you a little bit.
He brought in some ringers. I was like, what's gonna happen when I try to round first base? Am I gonna get leveled like one of those quarterbacks in the NFL? That was a little intimidating, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
You know, I thought about it a little bit. It was a little flashback, but you didn't have the right uni on.
That's good. That was not by anything that I had planned, but that was good. I didn't, so that's great. Hey, you were drafted number 2 pick in the first round by the Chiefs back in 1988, but you also played for the Denver Broncos and at the San Diego Chargers, which I found interesting. 2 of them in the same division. And man, I was such a Chiefs fan, but I couldn't go against you when you were playing because I loved watching you play so much. Tell us a little bit about your stint with those 2 teams before we go on and talk about the Chiefs.
Well, as you know, I was born a Chiefs, and it was time. It's a business, and during that time, they started free agency. And when free agency came about, the Chiefs was trying to go into another direction, and they wanted to, move on, with one of the 2 of the players, and I was just one of the 2 that they eventually wanted to depart with, and no harm foul. I did all the right things that I wanted to do as far as to the Chief organization is pay respect and do the right thing that I've done and what I accomplished in Kansas City as far as leaving wise. And the thing is that, I wanted to go around and tell everybody that the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely didn't do anything negative to Neil Smith. Everything was all on the upside and good. And we're still that way today. I'm happy to be a Chief. I was happy to be born a Chief. I'm always going to bleed red, even now throughout Nebraska. But then when I made that transition over to Denver, it was just a piece that Denver needed. That it was the timing was just right for me. The timing was right for them, and it fit the perfect piece into the perfect scenario. And things that happened. It unfolded that we won 2 world championships back to back, and great guys, great organizations. Can't have anything to say about them. Rest in peace, Mr. B. He was really for his team, and Coach Shanahan, at Hams, that he had a group of guys before I got there. They could have 3-peated. So like this Chief team right now, they was 1 away from being 3-peaters, and this Chief team is trying to get their 2nd championship right now, and it's kind of almost in the same way, but different time zone that things have happened. But all to the best, man. I just I look back at my career and it's like, I have no default whatsoever on it. It was a blessing to play. I know I stepped off the stage about, going to San Diego, and Junior Seau called me and said, "Hey, I need you." A great friend of mine's, that played his heart and soul to the game to a different level. He asked me to come in because a couple of guys that, went down at the position, and I granted him his wish. He said, "Okay, I would do it. I would only do it just for you, Junior," and become his teammate along with Rodney Harris. Those guys were tremendous. They were always champions in my life. And Rodney Harris proved that, after he left San Diego and went on to New England and had an excellent career. And, of course, Junior and the death of Derek Thomas, 2 guys that I lost, at such a young age that, it really empowered me, to really enjoy life a lot more.
All right, there you have it. That was Neil Smith, legendary Kansas City Chief and hopefully future Hall of Famer in the NFL. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight on our Labor Day special. Again, Jay, he was up in the mountains. I think he was practicing his yodeling. Maybe not. If he did, I want to hear that on the program, and I'm sure you guys do too. Anyway, this is One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. Again, make sure you like and share this program, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. And you can see all of these interviews in their entirety on that YouTube page. Guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Next week, we have Laura Bax, and she's going to be talking some outdoor stuff and all the fun stuff that she has done this summer. This is Kirk DeMars with One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week. God bless you.